In the Equinox expansion, we want to make nullsec space have more meaning for players. This is a combination of allowing you more customization options for content and activities, as well as creating topology. Planets in a star system will now be integral to the function of that system, and how useful the system is strategically. The Upworld Consortium has been a huge part of nullsec since the introduction of citadels in 2016. Now, we're proud to be presenting the next steps in transforming nullsec from a space you live into a home, providing more tools and content to allow the inhabitants to shape the space to their needs, by improving mechanisms, streamlining ownership, and allowing more customization options for activities and content within your empires. We are creating the foundations for the future of nullsec, a space that means and matters more to you. With the Equinox suite, Upworld is introducing major new structures: the Orbital Skyhook, Sovereignty Hub, and Metanox Moondrill.
From a UI perspective, our focus is on enhancing in-space interactions, reducing friction, and ensuring smooth usability when engaging with these structures. With dedicated in-space UI, you can seamlessly deposit fuel and hack objectives, all while accessing crucial information at a glance. This streamlined interface will empower you to interact with these structures effortlessly, without breaking immersion.
The Orbital Skyhook will be required to extract resources from a planet. With each new resource, power, workforce, reagents, there will be planet archetypes that can only produce that type of resource. This means that some systems with an abundance of one type of planet, but none of the others, will have limitations on what upgrades the system can provide. In terms of Upworld's new technology, the Orbital Skyhook will be the anchor, extracting resources from the planet. Sovereign owners of a star system will be able to deploy these giant structures as a replacement for the customs office. Firstly replacing, but retaining the functionality of customs offices as a resource interface for planetary industry. And secondly, opening up an extraction of new resources introduced with Equinox: power, workforce, reagents.
Power comes from suns, plasma, and storm planets. It's a hard limitation that determines how many upgrades your Sovereignty Hub can online. Workforce consists of people, specialists, and tools that are required to run these upgrades. It's a softer limitation, and you can move them from system to system, although some conditions apply. Reagents are two new fuel types, essentially, that come from lava and ice planets. You need them to keep the upgrades lights on, and they're also used in the Metanox Moondrill. They're freely exchangeable, so the economic types might want to pay attention to whole new markets opening up. Perceptive types will notice that power is a bit of baseline, but the other two, especially the other two, have potential for disruption. Messing with an enemy workforce by attacking a Sovereignty Hub's workforce transfer complex, or a workforce providing Skyhook directly, or starving them of an essential reagent prior to an attack, are now viable stratagems, and new meaningful conflict drivers for raiders and attackers.
With these resources extracted, both power and workforce will become available to use in the Sovereignty Hub. However, reagents, both magmatic gas and superionic ice, will need to be collected and distributed.
With the introduction of colony resources, you can now tap into the wealth of resources available on planets within your territory. You can easily access information about power, workforce, and reagent distribution through the agency window under the Resource Harvesting tab. You can search and filter for specific resources, their availability and quantity, empowering you to make informed decisions about expanding your sovereign space and target valuable star systems.
As power and workforce will be required for sovereignty upgrades, there is fresh opportunity for players looking to sabotage and create more disruptive type gameplay by choosing to destroy the Skyhooks. These structures will behave very similarly to medium Upworld structures, with a single shield reinforcement and damage caps on both armor and hull. Skyhooks will not stop working while reinforced. We've also created a new form of hit and run gameplay around these structures by allowing you to hack the structures in the style of an ESS heist, which will allow you to steal resources from them and sell them off. Reagents in the Skyhook will also have a period of maturation within the structure to ensure that there is always some form of vulnerability from the theft gameplay. And due to the attention these new structures have created, they'll draw the notice of local pirate forces, so be wary of warping to these structures in undefended haulers. The concept behind the introduction of the Sovereignty Hub is to refresh and enhance the existing sovereignty management and system upgrade mechanics, and gameplay in player-controlled nullsec by replacing the existing sovereignty structures, the territorial claim unit and the infrastructure hub, with a brand new central management structure called the sovereignty hub. The key feature of the sovereignty hub is sovereignty upgrades. These upgrades serve as the primary means through which you can improve systems you control, providing value to the owner of the space and creating drive to capture space, which in turn is intended to ignite territorial conflicts. Sovereignty upgrades currently exist in-game, however these new upgrades will offer more meaningful choices, renewing your passion for controlling space while creating interesting choices about how best to utilize and specialize the systems you own. One example of the improved SOV upgrades is the addition of a new, harder combat anomaly for the pirate detection array upgrade. Furthermore, all of these sites detected by this array will now have a chance to escalate with the possibility of an officer escalation and a combat site for capitals. Another upgrade will allow the detection of previously undiscovered ores, so you can choose what minerals in your system will provide and potentially reduce manufacturing bottlenecks.
For those of you in managerial roles, a dedicated interface offers the ability to install and prioritize upgrades. Here, you can design your desired layouts for upgrades, monitor resources available to the Sovereignty Hub, and manage workforce transport efficiently. This interface provides a centralized hub for strategic decision-making, allowing managers to optimize the territory effectively. Additionally, all players within a SOV-holding alliance can now track alliance progress, receive updates, and gain insights into their SOV space activities through the corporation window. We've revamped the Alliance tab, dedicating a section specifically to sovereignty. Our goal here is to strike a balance between clarity, accessibility, and engaging aesthetics. By incorporating table layouts for easy sorting, introducing filters for enhanced research, and integrating graphical data representation for items such as resource allocation and fuel consumption, we aim to deliver an interface that not only informs, but captivates, ensuring you stay engaged and up to date about the state of your territory.
Equinox will also introduce a new deployable structure, the Metanox Moon Drill. This structure can be deployed at moons in low-sec, null-sec, and wormhole space, and is fueled by some of the new reagents. The Metanox Moon Drill will slowly collect the resources obtained from mining and refining moon ores. Although the Metanox is less efficient than if the resources were manually collected using an Athena or Tartara, this allows small alliances and corporations which are more aggressor focused but do not have the manpower to mine moons the ability to still utilize them. For the groups that do have the manpower, they can focus their attention on the high value moons while the Metanox takes care of the low value ones. Metanox moon drills are vulnerable to attacks, only having a single short reinforcement time. If they are reinforced, then any materials inside them are trapped inside, allowing aggressors the opportunity to provoke an engagement or loot the resources for themselves. If they manage to destroy the structure successfully, aggressors will be able to deploy their own Metanox in its place.
This new technology suite from Upwell will make where you are in the universe matter. The tech allows you to really specialize the systems you call home, and then move workers around on your whim. To make the best use of the Equinox suite, you will have to plan ahead and be aware of possible attack vectors. For example, a system might have a high power potential, but there aren't many workforce sources nearby, and it could easily be cut off. Would you rather that scenario? Or a little hub in a corner that won't be as good, but more easily defensible? Also, which systems will specialize in what types of upgrades? If you can't have them all in one place, how will you lay them out? Equinox will create opportunities for raiding, trade, and betrayal, high-level specialization of specific systems for mining or rassing, using Metanox moon drills to bait fights, or on a massive scale to make tons of ISK. Players will be able to tweak systems to appease their needs, like specifically mining isogen. I'm a sneaky wormholer type, so getting lucky attacking someone who got a little too greedy with an unattended Metanox, or getting out of W space and seeing a reagent skyhook ripe for a little raiding, yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
There is so much I'm looking forward to. Redefining what makes a system valuable, giving you exciting new tools to transform your space the way you want to, and of course adding more conflict drivers for groups of all sizes. We can't wait to see what you do with them.